One more time, Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon. Woo! See why I wanted to be part of the show. Did you also notice Danielle sporting an Angry Cow Poetry shirt? You can find it on the merch table back there. We could also get this new album, Moo Motherfucker, from Angry Cow Poetry. Okay. So make sure you know that's out there. What's that?
They got them in juicy sizes.
Yes, let me know what you need. If you are a digital person, it's available. You can stream it. You can download it from the usual sites. Bandcamp's always the best with the artists, but other options are out there too. If you buy the disc and still want the digital, I'm happy to send you a free download code too. Just let me know. Send me a message or let me know before you head out. All right, so we're going to do a few more here. And this next piece, and I'm going to call another friend up to the stage. If you were here at the beginning of the night out in the front room, you heard my friend Dionne Hunter. He would join me on stage. Thank you. Give it up for Dionne. Well, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about this piece. So it was a spot, it was during COVID, I had some extra time on my hands, and I was just looking for ideas. And I posted on Facebook. What would you want me to write a poem about? What ideas? And I had several. I actually got a few poems I ended up really liking and I worked with, and other ideas that never came to fruition. But one of my friends put down human zoos. And I didn't know what those were at the time. And as a vegan, my first thought was that is like role playing to show the absurdity of a zoo if humans were in it. And no, that in fact is not what these human zoos were about. And I started, diving into this reality as I was researching. And if you look into human zoos, you're going to come upon the story of Atabenga, which is what this poem ended up being. On this album here, Salt Was the Price is the name of this track. Dionne Hunter performs with me. So Danielle's on one of the tracks too. So more and more reasons to make sure you go home with a copy. So this is Salt Was the Price. Salt was the price for his captured life. This Congolese man in slave trader hands, Atabenga.
In 1904, brought to these shores so that others could stare at the St. Louis World's Fair.
Just another... Oh, I'm sorry. That's me. I wrote the poem. You think I'd know when to stop. Just another addition to their living exhibition, Atabenga.
Savages on display, never mind their dismay. Step up for your view of this human zoo and see those like Atabenga.
In just 2 years' time, in the Bronx Zoo, we find Atabenga.
For your entertainment today, a human being on display. Come, turn your gaze to a man in a cage, Atabenga.
To gloat superiority, self-proclaimed, over someone so untamed, twice as many would now go to see their freak in the show, Atabenga.
At the primate house, bones scattered about to create the illusion of a cannibalistic conclusion to the eating habits of Atabenga.
Evolution's missing link, they claimed with a wink, Atabenga.
The crowd poked and they jeered, their manner cavalier as they laughed at the sight of Atabenga.
When protests were groaned, it is absurd to make moan over the imagined humiliation and the supposed degradation. The New York Times did wail. Very low in the human scale, they ranked Atabenga.
When the zoo's history we impart, this will be our most amusing part, the zoo director said of the caged Atabenga.
When finally free, homeward bound he would be, Atabenga.
But his return hopes would unravel with the cessation of passenger ship travel. World War I had begun, so he came upon a gun, Atabenga.
A life forced, undesired, no crowd would see when he fired the bullet into his heart, Atabenga.
A segregated, unmarked grave, no one bothered to say, here lies Atabenga.
in a country that still whitewashes its ills
Our hands are stained with the blood
of Atabenga. On the album track, Justin Tibbs plays sax too, plays an amazing sax, as Tibbs always does, if you know Tibbs. So again, now, Dionne, you can roll for it. Now, I know not everybody was here when Dionne took the stage in front, and Dionne came all the way from North Carolina, so I think Dionne needs to read a piece for us too. So Dionne's going to bless us with one piece here.
Thank you so much. I really want to encourage you to go out before the night is out and buy Keith's album. It is so awesome. It will open your eyes to things you have never thought about. And he has so much passion. So do not leave tonight without a digital or handheld copy of Move Motherfucker. I'm at that age where I appreciate every sunrise, sunset, and all the hours in between. The age that causes me to notice the rhythmic timing of each breath. Each one serving as a reminder to thank God for allowing me to see another day. I'm at that age where things have begun to stiffen up, and maybe I don't move as fluently as I did at 22. But I'm also at that age where I realize so many people didn't even get to see today. So I pray on bent and aching knee, thank you, God, for blessing me. I'm at that age where I see my kids making some of the same mistakes that I did. And I have to remind myself that although never easy, I made it through, and so will they. I'm at that age where I understand that money will never buy true happiness. But I'm also at that age where I understand that it definitely does help to have a bit. I'm at that age where six-pack abs still attract. Okay? But I'm also at that age where the actions of a true gentleman stops me in my tracks. I'm at that age where I know what it means to be a woman and how to treat my man. Beginning with listening to him while he explains what he needs from me. Because although there are many similarities, all men are not the same. I'm at that age where I know good things don't come to those who wait. They go to those who plan, work, educate, sacrifice, and repeat rigorously over and over and over again. I'm at that age where I appreciate spending time with my entire family, whether we're on good terms or not. Because I'm also at that age where I'm losing so many people that I care about. I'm at that age where I'm bearing down on that age where there are more chapters of my life in past instead of future tense. But I'm also at that age where I refuse to give up. I continue to strive, to climb, to improve, to share and create, bearing my soul to the universe, honoring my ancestors, my God, and myself by becoming the best version of me possible, striving to be more loving, caring, patient, and non-judgmental because I'm at that age. Please look me up on Facebook and Dionne.
There was also a mural outside the library, I believe, down in Charlotte, North Carolina with Dionne. A big, amazing mural down there. I've seen pictures. A couple shout outs here real quick so I don't forget. The cover of this is worth buying. Even if you don't have a disc player, buy it so you have this. I will give you the free digital code too. This was designed by Jenna Fournier, who is an amazing artist. Jenna's got her own prints here too of some of the amazing work that she's done. So you can also look through those and grab a print, but you can get this of Jenna's work right here on top. Lots of great musicians. I do want to rattle some off for you on the album. Justin Tibbs, Gretchen Plus, Angie Hayes, Holbrook Riles III, Jason Chamberlain, Zach, Jill Martine, Max Allard, Noah Allard, Gina is on there, of course, who's with us earlier. John A. Torres is on there. I think Henny Johnson is on there. And High Priest, our friend Tom, was planning to be here tonight, and things changed and he couldn't be here. But Zach, who was going to be on in a minute anyway with me, has graciously offered to play this piece with me. So please welcome to stage someone most of Akron knows here, Zach. While Zach plugs in, this piece was written in response. As a lot of my pieces are, a lot of my poetry is just responses to a world that's extremely unjust to humans and non-humans alike. And sometimes you see something where someone's like, oh, I got this great point, and you're like, no, you just don't understand the realities of this systemic racism we built into society, or systemic oppression in other areas too. So this is called Tone Deaf Karen's Tone Deaf Meme. Martin looted nothing, Martin burned nothing, Martin attacked no one. Reads Tone Deaf Karen's Tone Deaf Meme. Why can't you just do that? She offers. Not to the police nor the military, both armed to the teeth, fingers itching on the trigger. No, her demand for nonviolence is directed solely at those whose cries for equality are still left unanswered. Ignoring the vast majority of protesters who are peaceful. Equating a broken store window with violence like shattered glass, somehow matches firing 7 bullets into someone's back. Why can't you respond like Martin did? She wonders. That's an awful lot to ask, considering King's protests were only nonviolent on one side. Your meme speaks volumes, Karen. And this is what I hear. Why can't you just write letters from the prison cell they lock you inside for peacefully protesting? While the government tracks and taps you, considering you a national threat. Why can't you march peacefully across the bridge, knowing you'll return beaten and bloody at the hands of the law if you return at all? Why don't you offer your brain to the baton, your tender thigh to the sharp daggers at the dog's mouth, hoping that a camera is rolling? Hoping that this time some white American will be watching, and this time we will finally give a shit. That after 55 years, hell, after 400 years, we will finally decide that your life mattered. While we debate and evade the simple recognition of your value, why can't you stand there peacefully waiting? While bullets, rubber and real, fly in your direction from a peaceless officer or from some kid crossing state lines to use your body as target practice. Let me sit back in my comfortable privilege asking, why can't you just be killed peacefully like Martin, letting your brilliance drip onto the street, hoping your blood will be what finally makes us realize that you matter. So this next piece I wrote with Zach. We wrote this together. It is Jason's piece I think it counts as a song too, but it's one that definitely has it's a song with poetry versus poetry with music, which is a lot of the tracks on this album. So we wrote this together, I don't know, sometime in the COVID era, and it's called The Zoo. rapidly into motion, wind rippling through my fur. For a moment, I feel alive. The thrill dies in a few short strides as I'm met with bars, a gate, a fence, a wall, a trap I can't seem to escape. Taken away so long ago, vain memories that always be this way. People come and people go. The cages are in my eyes. There's a way that the breeze blows that tugs on my dreams. Put back of my mind on speed dial. Was ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running faucet's call. The pull towards who you want me to be is strong. Trapped is not where I belong. Deja vu every damn day. My life defined, enclosed by the men who built my narrow bars, selling tickets so children could see the sad remnants of my caged life. Never learned the stories told, the ancient paths through the ancient homes, huckleberry dances on the rain, but never grows here in the shade. Was ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running faucet's call. The pull towards who you want me to be is strong. Trapped is not where I belong. My life reduced to redundant circles, never leading me anywhere. Despite the illusion of comfort, my body knows that trapped is not where I belong. There are no ghosts beside my open eyes, free to roam, just not outside. Faces, scheduled lives, one song to sing, but something's not right. How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? Is ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running faucet's call. Towards who you want me to be is strong. Trapped is not where I belong. Trapped left, but my right foot, I'm looking. Mixed this album, mastered this album, produced this album. Jason got this album started, would never have happened without Jason, and it also never would have come to completion, certainly not with all of the mixing of all the amazing artists who helped me perform this without Zach. Please give it up one more time.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess wrong, but I'm going to guess close. Zach has maybe 34 albums out in this world at this point in time. 34 albums. The dude's like 9 years younger than me. 34 albums out in this world with like another 4 ready to go. So I would like to welcome another poet back up to the stage. My good friend Linda Orji started the night out in the front room. A lot of you weren't here yet, and I need you to hear one piece of Linda's. So please welcome Linda back up.
So this poem was inspired by a relationship that I was in, and he was a narcissist, verbally abused me in several different ways, and so I didn't have the courage to say what I wanted to say when I was in the relationship. But afterwards, as art does, it just brings out this side of you. And so originally I'm from the Bronx, and not many people know that because I don't, have an accent. Well, maybe I do, but it's not heavy. And so I imagine, like, what would I say to him, if I had the courage back then? And so I wrote this piece, and I'm gonna get some attitude up here. So he said to me that I wasn't a real Bronx chick, whatever that meant. So this is what I would say. Define Bronx chick, nigga. And don't give me that everyday, stereotypical, Jordan wearing, middle finger to the ceiling, get dressed to steal on the block riffing, posting on social media dick tripping, fighting with bitches, putting out weaves, and dissing your baby moms and children, bootlegging type definition of Bronx chick.
Okay.
That does not define. That is simply a picture of how much progression needs to be made in this world of oppression. You see, maybe if we change the way we say the words in which we speak, we can impact the minds and defeat those systems developed to keep us weak. You see, I am transforming that phrase from Bronx chick to Bronx chic. I am reclaiming my elegance as a woman. I'm wearing my crown, which over the years we've forgotten, misplaced, abused, or just put down. I'm saying to my sisters in the hood up to no good, go home and put your children's knowledge on fleek as it should. Focus on being right by their side. You see, there's only one me, Linda Orji. You see, there's only one me, Linda Orji.
I know that's right.
And I choose to create my own lane for our youth's destiny, so they may be hip to the systems developed to keep us weak, disguised by the jump man called Air Jordan, who crossed us over with his fortune cookies, Chinese sweatshop factories, and dumped our whole paychecks away while workers in Asia make $1 a day. You see, I am reclaiming my elegance as a woman. I am wearing my crown, which over the years we've forgotten, lost, misused, or just put down. Let's own the blocks in which we stand. Let's stop fighting each other and start having positive dialect with one another. Let's stop being controlled by dick. Heads together, especially our women of color. Let's start asking the baby mothers if they need help with the children. You see, this is no secret. It's just my homemade recipe. No charge, free delivery. What you do is you turn the heat all the way up, remix the contents with a quart of elegance, a hint of street, pour on the intelligence with an ounce of sass. And then you top it off by telling all the haters to do what? Kiss. And how do you know when it's done? When you can walk into a room and they don't have to ask you anymore who you are or where you're from. You see me? I choose to transform that phrase from Bronx chick to Bronx chic.
I've got one more piece for you tonight, and I'm going to have Linda stay on stage to help me with this, and I'm going to bring Danielle, Nicole, Nikki, Dixon up one last time. I do want to mention, while I get that out of the way, while Danielle comes up and joins us, Seth and Nate of the Rialto Theater, Seth Vale and Nate Vale, are amazing humans. They run an amazing establishment. I've said it before, and this is not an exaggeration. This is my favorite place in Akron, right here. Absolutely. All kinds of amazing things happen on this stage and the stage out front. You're going to get to hear their brand new release, band name Ashes and King Locust. I'm super excited to hear that here in just a few minutes. So we're going to close with a piece called Bullet Points that again was a response, as you'll see, to things we saw online. It's been a pleasure being with you tonight. Thank you all so much for coming here. Homework assignment for anyone who shares any variation of "the police won't bother you if you don't break the law."
Step 1. Outline each law broken by Elijah McClain. Include subheadings.
Step 2. Quote the criminal codes violated by Tatiana Jefferson. Use footnotes.
Step 3. Brainstorm 12 ways Amadou Diallo could have more legally danced between the 41 bullets fired at him. Be prepared to discuss your thoughts in class.
Step 4. Write a biography on the 7-year life of Aiyana Jones. Annotate any illegality.
Step 5. Summarize the penal code infringements of Tamir Rice. Submit via Google Classroom Notes.
Step 6. Create a Venn diagram to show the intersection of the laws broken by John Crawford and Botham Jean.
Step 7. Explain in a sonnet how Breonna Taylor could have slept more lawfully.
Step 8. List the legal missteps of Philando Castile. Use bullet points.
Step 9. Write a 12-page research paper on stop and frisk policies, single-spaced.
Step 10. Create a PowerPoint on the history of racial profiling. Cite at least 4 sources.
Step 11. Multiple choice. Find the law that calls for immediate street execution. A. Failure to use a turn signal. B. Suspected use of a forged $20 bill. C. Accusations of selling cigarettes without a license. Or D. A broken taillight.
Step 12. Stand in front of the class and recite the First Amendment. Use Google or Wikipedia if necessary.
Step 13. Watch at least 10 videos of police turning tear gas and rubber bullets on those exercising their First Amendment rights. Personal reflection due Monday.
Step 14. Write a limerick or haiku about the racism and privilege you now see reflected in your mirror.
Step 15. Repeat until you realize how clueless you sound. Everything I performed tonight is on the new album called Damn, that feels nice. Thank y'all. So, been a pleasure. We have coming to the stage. I'm not sure if they are ready or if they need a few minutes. But we have an amazing band, an amazing combination. I don't know if you've yet heard a band named Ashes play with King Locust, but it's happened on this stage before, and now they have a whole EP. So don't just buy Moo Motherfucker, buy the new band named Ashes and King Locust EP, which, Nowhere But Somewhere, I think. Something with Where's. I think that's the right album. I think it's Nowhere But Somewhere. Whatever it is. Is that right? Verify for me. We got it?
Yes, you got it.
Nowhere But Somewhere. Amazing artwork on that album, too. Are y'all ready? Y'all need time.
Give us a second.
All right. So about 10 minutes, grab a drink, talk to a friend, talk to a poet or a musician. You enjoyed their work. Thank you so much.